Rishi Sunak has said just a few days ago that the police and the security services should be prepared for a terrorist attack in this country, right? He said those words, but yet we're still getting the police sort of not quite sure what to do about the Remembrance Sunday weekend, where it looks as though there's going to be clashes almost certainly on the Saturday, because there's a Remembrance performance, I think 2 performances at the Albert Hall, while there's likely to be a massive, great pro-Palestinian march on the same day. The police are saying we're going to do everything we can to stop it. But what does that mean exactly? What are they going to do?
Well, the problem I have with the police is it seems to me they go out of their way for community relations to one portion of the population and the opposite in the other direction. They'll come and arrest an oik in Liverpool for a tasteless Halloween costume. And yet when someone's kicking in a bus shelter during the Notting Hill Carnival and it's an expression of passion or something. And I think the police do have to make sure that they have good outreach and good relationships with various communities. But they've been banging on about this so much that some people are just saying, we can do what we like then.
Well, I think if you're one of the people that was at that protest last Saturday and the Saturday before, and even in Liverpool Street, there was one at King's Cross yesterday, they're just going to have them whenever they feel like it on the basis that nobody's going to stop them.
I mean, the whole point of having a non-racist society is it's one set of rules and one standard for everybody, whatever the colour of your skin, whatever your creed. And you find all of these people suddenly popping up as apologists for the word jihad. Now, I don't know the etymology of that word. I think it does also mean a personal struggle. But I'll tell you one thing.
I don't expect the Metropolitan Police to be explaining it to me.
No, but when people are standing on the street and shouting it, I would assume that they know full well that the vast majority of people out there assume it to be a war crime.
Yes.
So it's being deliberately
Well, let's
provocative.
put it this way. When you also use it in conjunction with the phrase Muslim armies rise up, I think you probably mean something military.
It's the same way people now have these black flags on these protests with the, you know, italicized silver writing,
it's definitely
the
not
Arabic
an ISIS flag,
script.
says the police.
And I wouldn't know what's an ISIS flag or what says, you know, free chicken at Morrison's tonight or something. But you see the imagery of it and it sends a shiver down your spine.
And you know exactly...
And these people know what they're doing.
You know what the intention is of the person waving that flag. You don't have to be... you know, an Islamic scholar to be able to read the words.
Meanwhile, people like you and I have to go about our business, tripping over our words and sort of talking in half sentences for fear we get called up on being offensive or hateful when we're just trying to have a debate.
I mean, yeah, exactly right. Let's finish up with Elon Musk and Rishi Sunak and this promise that in the future it will all be great. It'll be like an amazing kind of, you know, beautiful scene where you and I will just be wandering the sort of swimming pools of our homes, wondering what should we have for lunch as we order up our robot to cook us a beautiful sort of, you know, lightly toasted chicken sandwich. That's not what it's going to be like.
But you know what I'm always completely bewildered by? The fact that, you know, since we've had the cartoons of the Jetsons and Tomorrow's World and Robot Wars all the way through to making films like Avatar and ABBA Voyage, whatever it is, where they're sort of holograms or whatever, they still haven't figured out how to make printers work.
No.
You still have to kick that thing every time you want to, you know, get a paper jam out of the tray.
Yeah, and there's also trains that aren't running today because the railway lines are a bit flooded and there's the wrong kind of leaves and the wrong kind of drainage.
The focus with all of this stuff is constantly the wrong direction. I'm very for technology, increasing technological advancements. We've got an NHS where we still have paper records, right?
Exactly.
You know, where you get the four letters for an X-ray when your foot healed 10 years ago.
Well, I get calls from people who say, I've just had a letter today for an appointment that was last week. Right? And so I didn't know it was happening, so I've missed it.
Their post service is just crazy. But at the same time, you have a real, what I'd call considerable existential threat in the form of social media, which is ramping up all of this sort of division, hatred and fake news and drug dealers selling their wares on Instagram and kids being brainwashed on TikTok. I mean, it's just a mess out there. It's creating a mental health crisis and dividing society and enabling criminality. And we can't sort that out. Now, frankly, that is one area where move fast and break things shouldn't have been the mantra because it's massively affecting society. But areas where we really should be moving fast and breaking things, such as getting the NHS digitised, it's just not happening.
No. It's too big, too expensive, and the people running it don't know what they're doing. It's that simple. Luckily, we do. Alex Phillips, thank you very much indeed. You back at 1 o'clock?
Yes, Kev and I are back at 1.
And all next week and for the rest of time?
Forever. So now if you want to catch Kev and I, we're going to be 9:30 till 10, Monday to Friday.
Excellent.
And then back again from 1 till 3. So you can get 2 daily doses of Kev and Alex, Alex and Kev.
And I want to thank you for taking him off my hands because, you know, to be honest, it can be a bit annoying.
He's a bit of a curmudgeon, but he's all right. You have to say the right things to him. I'm becoming a Kev whisperer.
Brilliant.